Ever wondered what the biggest snake in history looked like? Forget everything you thought you knew about anacondas or pythons. We're about to dive deep into the prehistoric past to uncover a creature so massive it makes today's giants look like garden snakes. This is the story of Titanoboa, the undisputed king of serpents. Picture this: 60 million years ago, long after the dinosaurs had vanished, the world was a very different place. It was a hot, humid, greenhouse world, especially in the tropical regions of what we now call South America. The rainforests were sprawling, dense, and teeming with life, and in these steamy, swampy jungles, a true titan was born. Titanoboa cerrejonensis, its full scientific name, wasn't just a big snake. It was a monster of epic proportions. So, how big are we talking? Let's put it into perspective. The longest snake alive today, the reticulated python, can reach about 30 feet or 9 meters. Impressive, right? Well, Titanoboa would have dwarfed it. Scientists estimate it grew to be at least 40 feet long, maybe even pushing 50 feet, which is around 13 to 15 meters. That's longer than a school bus. And its weight, a staggering 2,500 pounds, or over 1,100 kilograms. It was as heavy as a small car, like a Volkswagen Beetle. Imagine a snake so thick it would come up to your hips if you were brave enough to stand next to it. It was a true heavyweight champion. The discovery of this behemoth is a fascinating story in itself. It happened in the early 2000s in a place called the Cerrejón coal mine in Colombia. This open-pit mine is one of the largest in the world, and as miners dug through layers of rock, they weren't just finding coal. They were uncovering a lost world. Paleontologists flocked to the site, unearthing fossils of giant turtles with car-sized shells and massive prehistoric crocodiles. But the most incredible find was yet to come. A student named Edwin Cadena, who was part of the research team, found a fossil that looked unusually large. At first, they thought it might be from a crocodile, but as they examined it more closely, they realized it was a vertebra, a backbone, from a snake. But this was no ordinary snake vertebra. It was huge. By comparing this giant vertebra to the bones of modern snakes, like anacondas, the team of scientists, led by Jonathan Block and Jason Head, were able to calculate the astonishing size of the creature it belonged to. They had found a new species, and they gave it a name that perfectly matched its size: Titanoboa. The Titanic boa. Living in a hot, tropical swamp meant Titanoboa had a unique lifestyle. Like modern anacondas, it was likely a semi-aquatic predator. It would have spent much of its time lurking in the murky waters of vast river systems, waiting for unsuspecting prey. Its sheer size and power meant it was the apex predator of its ecosystem. Nothing was off the menu. Its diet likely consisted of the other giants that shared its world. Remember those giant crocodiles I mentioned, known as Acherontosuchus? They could grow up to 20 feet long, but they were fair game for a hungry Titanoboa. It would also have preyed on giant turtles and massive lungfish, some of which were the size of a modern car tire. Unlike some snakes that use venom, Titanoboa was a constrictor, just like its modern relatives, the boas and anacondas. But its method of attack would have been terrifyingly efficient. It wouldn't have just squeezed its prey to death by cutting off their breathing. A creature of this size would have exerted an incredible amount of force. Scientists estimate it could generate a crushing pressure of about 400 pounds per square inch. That's like having the entire weight of the Brooklyn Bridge piled onto your body. Any animal caught in its coils would have had its bones, organs, and entire circulatory system crushed in an instant. It was a quick, brutal, and incredibly effective way to hunt. So why did Titanoboa get so big? The answer lies in the climate. Snakes are cold-blooded, or ectothermic, which means their body temperature and metabolism are regulated by their environment. To support a body as massive as Titanoboa's, the ambient temperature had to be consistently high. Based on its size, paleontologists calculated that its environment must have had an average annual temperature of around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or 32 degrees Celsius. That's significantly warmer than the tropical rainforests of today. This hothouse world provided the perfect conditions for reptiles to evolve to gigantic sizes. Titanoboa was a product of its environment, a true child of the Paleocene epoch. Visualizing this creature is a mind-bending exercise. Imagine gliding through a prehistoric river in a canoe. The water is brown and murky, the air thick with humidity and the buzz of strange insects. Suddenly, the water beside you begins to move. Not a ripple, but a massive, silent displacement. A head the size of a large dog's, with dark, unblinking eyes, breaks the surface. It doesn't hiss. It doesn't need to. Its sheer presence is enough. The body that follows is a thick, muscular coil of mottled brown and green scales, perfectly camouflaged against the swampy backdrop. It moves with a slow, deliberate power, a living, breathing river of muscle and bone. That was the reality for any creature that shared the water with titanoboa. One of the biggest debates surrounding titanoboa is what it looked like. Was it more like a boa or an anaconda? Its name, titanoboa, suggests a relationship with boas. However, its massive size and semi-aquatic lifestyle are much more similar to today's green anaconda, which is actually a type of boa. Its skull fossils are incomplete, which makes it hard to be certain. Some reconstructions give it a broader, anaconda-like head, perfect for ambushing large prey in the water. Others stick closer to the classic boa constrictor look. The pattern and color of its skin are pure speculation, but it would have almost certainly been camouflaged to blend into its swampy, forested environment. Think earthy tones, browns, greens, and blacks, perhaps with a pattern of splotches or diamonds like many large snakes today. The world of titanoboa eventually came to an end, as the Earth's climate began to cool over millions of years. The super hot greenhouse conditions that allowed such giants to thrive disappeared. The average temperatures dropped, and the ecosystem changed. A colder world could no longer support the massive metabolic needs of a creature like titanoboa. Its colossal size, once its greatest advantage, became its fatal flaw. The king of serpents faded into history, leaving only its fossilized bones as evidence of its reign. The discovery of titanoboa didn't just give us a cool new movie monster. It was a crucial piece of the puzzle for understanding Earth's past climate. By using this giant snake as a kind of prehistoric thermometer, scientists were able to gain valuable insights into how ecosystems respond to changes in global temperature. It's a powerful reminder of the intricate link between life and the environment. Today, the legacy of titanoboa lives on. It has captured the public imagination, starring in documentaries, video games, and even having a full-scale, life-size replica that has toured museums around the world, giving people a chance to come face-to-face with this incredible predator. It serves as a humbling reminder that the giants we see today are just shadows of the titans that once roamed our planet. The story of titanoboa is a testament to the sheer scale and wonder of life on Earth, a chapter from a lost world ruled by the largest snake that ever lived. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you were fascinated by the story of this titanic snake, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the amazing creatures of the past. Let me know in the comments what prehistoric beast you'd like to see me cover next. See you in the next video.